Hi friends, today I'm going to be trying new makeup and I'm very excited for this video. Before I start, I want to show you the products that we are going to be testing in this video. So I purchased the new YSL eyeshadow palette, the Mini Clutch eyeshadow palette in Captivating Dunes, which is this one, and the texture and the formula is out of this world gorgeous. Right before that, I purchased the Over Brune eyeshadow palette from YSL. This one is not that new, it is relatively new. So you can see that one is more cool toned, the other one is more warm. I'm going to make sure to compare those two. And then I also have one of the new YSL highlighters, which I was very excited to try. These are the new All Hours Hyper Luminizers, I believe it was. All Hours Hyper Luminize highlighting powder, and I decided to go for the palest shade. I want to compare them to the new product highlighters, which happen to be my favorite highlighter at the moment. Then I have also the new Dior stick blushes and powder blushes. I finally purchased the new Giorgio Armani mascara, lifting mascara, because one of you was very insistent that I should try this mascara. I actually purchased a small size bottle, a small size tube of this mascara, because recently I purchased all of the new mascaras. I have to do a roundup of new mascaras, but my eyes have been quite dry, so I try to stay away from mascara these days. So this is it. And then I also have a new setting powder, and this one was actually a gift with my latest Sephora purchase. I love shopping at Sephora France because I always get sometimes from time to time, I'm actually going to get a full-size gift. And this is the Huda Beauty powder. I've never tried anything from Huda Beauty, so I'm excited to try this one. So I have been very excited to use the new Captivating Dunes eyeshadow palette from YSL. I'm going to quickly show you swatches and close-ups of the palette. And I'm going to show you some comparison swatches to Over Brune, because they both have neutral color story, but you're going to see on the swatches that Over Brune is actually more warm-toned bronzy palette, whereas Captivating Dunes is actually one of a kind, almost, it's quite unusual because it's actually a cool toned neutral brown eyeshadow palette. And with brown eyeshadow palettes, they usually are going to lean a little bit more bronzy, a little bit more warm toned. So I think that this one is going to be suitable for a lot of people who have fair skin tone. I think this is going to be perfect. And since I'm planning to use this eyeshadow palette today, I need more perfecting base than usual. Also, my skin is misbehaving lately. You're probably going to notice that I have a spot here, also here, and here, something coming up. So it's because of the heat and because I have been testing some new sunscreens that didn't agree with my skin. I'm gonna start with my trusted Westman Atelier concealer, and I'm actually going to use it on the back of my hand because I don't like to place the doe foot applicator directly onto my skin. I'm taking this concealer on a brush and I'm going to start using it under my eyes, a little bit here, and then I'm just going to go ahead and dot the concealer as well. And we're going to start from here. Let's see what kind of a coverage I can get with this amount of concealer. So I'm going to go ahead and just blend quickly. And this concealer sets quite quickly, so I have to work fast. I'm directly going to go ahead and use my beauty blender here because this is a self-setting concealer. It sets quite quickly, but on the other hand, when I have some darkness to cover, it just is like no other product because it doesn't emphasize pores, fine lines, it sets into place, it doesn't move all day long. And recently I actually found that if I use a few dots all over my face, I can skip foundation and at the same time look quite flawless, and it's really good for the heat and for the summer months. Okay friends, I'm using now the smallest amount of powder just to set the concealer onto my eyelids, because a little bit of powder is going to help my eyeshadows to look and to blend more seamlessly. Now I'm going to fill in my brows using my Fluorescence brow pencil. This one is a powder brow pencil. You always ask me what I use on my brows. It's only this product that I have been using for years. Next, I mentioned that I want to use this new Huda Beauty powder. It's not new, it's new to me. but it is supposed to be used for baking. I never really bake, but I have to say it's really finely milled powder. So I'm going to go ahead and use it lightly on a brush. Just so that I can remove the shine. It is supposed to be used for baking, but I don't really bake, so just gonna try and use it as a setting powder. Now that I have the base, I'm applying a little bit of lip oil to nourish my lips and prep them for the lipstick. I really like the Guerlain lip oils because they are capable of repairing my sensitive lips. And we're moving on to the eyeshadow palette. I'm going to leave the blush for the last because I don't know how much blush I'm going to need. Before moving on to the eyeshadow palette, I want to show you this new highlighter from YSL, and I'm going to be using it for the first time. I've only swatched it and it feels quite smooth. It doesn't feel like the same texture of the product highlighters, but they look kind of similar in terms of they are both quite creamy, but the product powder feels a little bit more almost wet when I touch it, whereas this one feels more like a classic, very finely milled powder. This one still has some shimmery particles, very tiny, so we're going to see how it's going to look on my face. I'm taking this with my favorite highlighter brush on the back of my hand, and let's see. I wanted to have the palest shade because the product highlighters, I have them in pink and champagne, and they both look on my skin tone almost like somewhere in the middle between a blush and a highlighter. If you're interested in my full review, I'm going to link to my video of the product highlighters. For now, they are my favorites. So I'm obviously going to overdo it a little bit, but I just want to show you. I think it looks beautiful, and this color in particular matches my fair skin tone quite well. I really like it. I am not tempted to buy the pink one because I really like my Prada highlighter in pink, and I suppose that the pink shade of the YSL highlighter, again, it is going to be like the Prada highlighter, and for my skin tone it's going to work like more like a blush and a highlighter. So I really wanted to have a classic pearlescent highlighter that it doesn't have too much of a shimmer, but I have to warn you that there are some shimmery particles. They melt quite nicely onto my skin. And I really like that it's this white pearlescent color. Let's apply a little bit here as well. I really like it. So let's move on to the eyeshadow palette in Captivating Dunes. I'm starting with the cool brown color. The formula is really soft, velvety, smooth. I always like to take it first on the back of my hand. And I think that I'm just going to apply this color all over my mobile eyelid, because I think that I'm going for a very soft, smoky eye look. We're going to see where the makeup takes me. The colors of this new formula from YSL blend so beautifully and effortlessly. I'm going to take the deepest shade now and apply this one very close to the lash line. Almost I'm going to use it like an eyeliner. Next I'm going to take this color here and apply this on the mobile eyelid. I think that these colors and this eyeshadow palette is going to be perfect for people who have cool skin tone. And if you like neutral colors, but you still have cool skin tone, I think you're going to love this palette. I really like it. Next, I'm taking this pearlescent color and I'm going to place it right in the inner corner of my eye, just to bring some light. Maybe I'm going to just pat this with my finger as well. And this color actually has a very small glittery particle, so I have to warn you, this one is going to be more like for a glamorous look. I wouldn't use it every single day because the glittery particles are quite visible. So I'm going to go ahead and do this eye off camera. I'm going back in the cool matte brown color and just emphasizing the crease a little bit. I also decided to apply a little bit more of this beautiful steel, almost like a steel taupe shade on top of the glitters here, because I didn't love how glittery this color is. This one is really to give it this instant light. And this color is best applied not with a brush, but packed with a sponge applicator, because it packs the glitters and makes it more beautiful. But I'm just going to go back and forth. But I'm just going back and forth and perfecting the shape here in my crease. And I have to say that this is probably going to be my #1 eyeshadow palette currently. I like it even more than Overbrun. I'm just going to tone down the glitters here from the pearlescent shade, because I don't love the glitters that much. Next, I'm taking a Prada eyeliner in 02 Wood, and I'm going to line the outer part of my lower lash line. Then taking the matte brown color, the softer one, I am going to smudge the line because I don't want it to be harsh. I think I'm gonna need a little bit more blending on my lower lash line, but first let's try the Giorgio Armani mascara. I'm really excited for this one because there is one of you guys in particular that insisted on me trying this mascara. I've had it on my wish list, but one of you insists on me trying this mascara. So I know that if someone from my community insists on me trying something, I know it's really good. And wow. And wow, from the first stroke of the mascara, can you see that? Okay, to the person who made me buy this mascara, I don't know why I purchased the small size bottle, but apparently this is going to be one of my favorite mascaras, if not the best one from the new mascaras, actually. I mean, the way it separates the lashes, it looks like it gives length definition. And this is just the very fast use of the mascara, so I definitely have to buy the big size tube. Wow. I think this is exactly what I want from a mascara, and I'm quite impressed because with the first application, mascaras never really work good with the first application, but this one, it's out of this world. I always know that when someone from my regular viewers, especially if they recommend something, I know it's really, really good and really valuable. So thank you so much. Just the way it brushes every single lash is amazing. So I think that when I was doing my brows, I actually forgot the brow gel. So I'm adding it now and just combing my brows once again. The Giorgio Armani mascara is absolutely gorgeous. I'm so happy that I purchased it because it looks natural and it comes through every lash. I wouldn't say that it curls the lashes, but I have really straight lashes anyways. I just love how it defines the lashes. It gives some really nice, I would say not extreme, but a nice amount of length and definition, which is something that I love. I would probably have to curl my lashes once again just because they are so straight. Now I have to say it's really hot here. I don't know if I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I cannot turn my air conditioning on because it is going to mess up with the mic and we're not going to have the best sound. So I'm almost melting. I went to have a cup of coffee and off camera, I just tried to apply the Huda Beauty powder, and I'm gonna get close to you because I want you to see. It created a filter on my face and I didn't even bake. Let me go ahead and get it actually. So I'm going to be completely honest with you about the Huda Beauty powder. You saw that in the beginning I just used the smallest amount on my brush. And now I just used a sponge. I have to admit, I've never actually been attracted to Huda Beauty makeup. I've never tried anything from the brand. And this powder was actually, I received this one as a gift because probably I'm a big client of Sephora. So they sent this complimentary with one of my latest orders, a full size of Huda Beauty powder for baking. And I'm never into baking. I've never done it. I don't like it. I don't believe in baking. It's just not my style of makeup. This just looks like a filter. In real life, my skin, it just gave me a filter. It gave me an actual filter. I don't have any pores, anything, and I didn't bake. I just used a small amount of powder on the puff and I applied it on my skin. I'm not going to try to bake. Obviously, it's not my thing, but this powder, it might be better than my favorite Guerlain loose powder, the Perur Gold loose powder, and it may be better than the old Givenchy Prisma Libre powder. I'm going to update you in one of my next videos, but I just thought I would share. This one is going to be a game changer for me. And what's more important is that my skin doesn't look dry. I don't feel like I'm wearing powder. So this is like the surprise of the video, the surprise of the season, of the year. I actually want to use the Prada highlighter as kind of a blush. I'm going to show you now. And I made the mistake to buy one Prada highlighter, the pink one with the case. And the champagne, I decided to buy it as a refill and it just comes like this. I cannot buy separately the case now, which is quite unpleasant. So if you're interested in these highlighters, go ahead and watch my full review. So I'm going to go ahead and use this highlighter now as kind of a blush, maybe. Let's see how it's going to work. But I'm quite tempted to actually use the Prada highlighter as a 2-in-1 product. Probably toward the end of the summer, I'm even going to purchase the deep highlighter from Prada because I think that it's going to be a beautiful illuminating bronzer on my skin tone. So for lips, I just removed the lip oil and I think that I'm going to use a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury's, this is Pillow Talk in Fair. Charlotte Tilbury's Lip Cheat in Pillow Talk Fair, just to make my lips a little bit more long-lasting, to enhance the shape and make the lip color slightly more long-lasting. And then I'm going to be using my favorite lip gloss from Chanel. Now I'm going to go ahead and dip my brush between the highlighter and the bronzer of Chanel's oversized Healthy Glow powder. And I want to warm up my skin lightly. Also, I'm going to use a little bit on the forehead. And I think that I'm going to go ahead and use just a small amount of candy from Dior. Just for a touch of freshness to my skin. I'm going to dab it onto my cheeks. So I think this is going to be the finished look. Thank you so much for spending time with me and for joining me. I wanted to share with you quickly my thoughts on the new makeup that I tested. The new eyeshadow palette from YSL is a 10 out of 10 for me. I like it even better than Overbrune because it is a cool toned neutral palette. I like Overbrune as well. I'm not really sure which one is a better option. I showed you swatches of both. You have to decide for yourself. I think that I like them both actually, but this one is just a little bit more extraordinary because it's a cool toned palette. It's a neutral cool toned, and Overbrune is a little bit more bronzy, so I know that I'm going to be enjoying and using both of them in the summer month. About the new YSL All Hours highlighter, I really love it. I have been wanting to have such pale color, pearlescent color that doesn't have a lot of shimmery particles. This one is perfect. I really like it, but just keep in mind that this one has a little bit more visible shimmery particles compared to the Prada highlighters. The Prada highlighters are definitely more smooth. They are a little bit more extraordinary like texture, but I can see myself wearing this highlighter a lot just because it matches my skin tone quite well. The Prada highlighters are out of this world gorgeous, but on my fair skin tone, both champagne and the pink one look like illuminating blushes. They can look as a highlighter if I apply just the smallest amount, but I would say that they're more like a 2-in-1 product, and I absolutely love them because they don't have visible shimmery particles on the face. They just are quite a unique product, and I'm going to make sure to link to my review of the Prada highlighters. They're truly gorgeous, and I think that I'm going to buy also the deepest shade because in the late summer when my skin gets a little bit of color, I think it's going to look very beautiful on my fair skin tone. Like, I think that the deepest shade of the Prada highlighters is going to look like an illuminating bronzer on my skin, and I'm happy to wear such color. I think that what I miss from Prada is they should create this color, because for people with fair skin tones, I think that this kind of color, white pearlescent color, it suits fair skin tones so beautifully. As for the Dior blushes, I adore the Dior blushes, and I am going to have a dedicated video, or by the time you're watching this video, I may have already posted my dedicated video with how to use the Dior blush sticks and new powder blushes. These are absolutely stunning. And the biggest surprise of this video is going to be the Huda powder. I really like this one. I don't know where I have been, and I'm so happy that I finally tried this one. This is going to be a real game changer for me for the summer months, and I think that if you have dilated pores texture or just oily skin and you live in a hot, humid climate, you definitely should try this one. I think it might beat my favorite Guerlain loose powder. And then what else? Last but not least, I really like also the new Giorgio Armani mascara. That was all for today's video. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I'm going to see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.